So, this is episode one
Man.
of a great series going to be happening right now. Of course, we're joined by my lovely co-star here.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Law. Proud owner of laying down the law.
My bad. And you know how he get down. He gonna come correct every fucking time.
Man.
And of course, you all should know me by now. I keep forgetting I'm looking at the wrong camera. I got a new camera that I put up there. You guys know me already. It's In Tunes We Trust. Because if you can't trust tunes, who can you trust?
Oh, yeah,
This is the very first episode of the anime and pop culture podcast that we're gonna have.
Said, don't worry about it. We will be live around 10 for sure. We ran a little bit later today just because it's the first one. So we trying to make sure we get all the kinks worked out. So as the weeks go along, just bear with us. The quality of it will get better and better as we figure out exactly how we gonna do it. But we wanted to go ahead and start it up. So it's what you're gonna get for the first one. And as time goes on, we will continue to improve the quality of the show.
But we got some hot topics for you guys today. We got 3 key points that we're gonna go over today. The first point is gonna be introducing ourselves and how we got into anime, and I'll let Big 16 start off.
Oh man, okay. So, me, Harrison Lawler, 27. Everybody pretty much just calls me Law at this point now. I started anime, I'd say it was in the years between 2007 and 2009. So I know I started it in middle school, but somewhere in 6th and 9th grade is where I started. What did we do? We started so I started really watching Naruto and Zatch Bell. Those were the first things that I watched. So Toonami, put me on with all of that. I started, the first manga I read was a Zatch Bell manga. I'd go to Borders. OG would take me to Borders. We get the manga. So the one, it was where it's several chapters, so it was like a thick book, and I'd sit there and I'd basically buy that and read that in a day, and then have to wait, however long to get the new one whenever that will come out. So that drove me into reading Shonen Jump weekly, and what I could really remember from that was really reading Naruto, and then they had the Yu-Gi-Oh! I forget which one exactly it was. It may have been GX at the time or DX. I forgot exactly which name it was. But I'd always remember they'd have like a card or something in it, that you could add to your dual collection and all that kind of stuff. So I really enjoyed that. To this day, I haven't actually gone down and counted. I gave a rough estimation of about how many I've watched. I'd say about 20 to 25 anime shows that I've watched. I'm really, really into that. That was more so my speed than than superheroes and whatnot. So say like I'm a real heavy Batman fan, but believe it or not, I didn't get into Batman until way after I had been into anime. So I didn't get into superheroes and whatnot until I was I'd say my sophomore year of college. But I had been into anime and all of that way before. I know Sonic X and Kirby wouldn't really count as anime, but those were shows that I watched over, Saturday morning cartoons, so like Justice League and all that kind of stuff. Never got into that until I got way older, which is kind of crazy, but yeah. So anime had always been, for me, it's been great. I know we wouldn't necessarily say Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! Is anime, but that's kind of that, Japanese kind of animation and all that. It's not necessarily what we consider, Naruto, One Piece, all that kind of stuff. But it's kind of like the stepping stones to get there, and that's always where I've been and what I've been into. So that's just a little about me. Turn it over to you, 12.
Like we said, y'all, we're working it out. Bear with us. We're going to get it down for sure. We promise.
Okay.
All right, we good.
All right,
So,
so
I am
I am
Raheed
Raheed
Davis, and
Davis.
this is
Man.
it's a
It's a
learning
learning
curve for
curve
us
for
out
us
here
out here
sometimes.
sometimes.
Facts,
Hello,
Hello,
man.
everybody
everybody
out
out
there.
there.
So you
So
guys
you
can know
guys
about
know
me
about
right
me right
now.
now.
I got
I
into
got into
anime. I
anime. I
think,
think,
man, I want
man,
to
I want to
say
say
20
20
years
years
ago.
ago.
I started
I
off
started off
like I was
like
like
I
a
was like
kid
a
who was
kid
big
who
into
was big into
wrestling.
wrestling.
Switched over
Switched
to
over to
anime
anime
and
and
cartoons, something like
cartoons, something
that.
like that.
I got a
I got a
lot
lot
into
into
Dragon Ball Z, Inuyasha, Yu Yu Hakusho, Sailor Moon, a lot of like the old school late '90s to early 2000 animes. And then from that point on, I moved over to like
Zax Bill, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Digimon, Beyblade, all that stuff. I love cartoons when it came to it. I was more of a cartoon, but I got into anime really heavily around the One Piece era when it came out. And then I kept watching it, even though I didn't like it too much to start off with.
Mm.
It grew up on me more and more and more as I started watching it more. Um, it was the same with Dragon Ball Z. It was the same with Naruto when that came out around that time. I just had to just keep watching it more and more. And as I got older, I started to appreciate it a lot more. So I think
Mm.
my true passion behind anime didn't come until I was like I got into it around 7. My true passion behind anime didn't come around until I was like I want to say 11, between 11 and 12 years old.
Okay.
Because I was always a kid who was outside. I played football and basketball and baseball and track and field all year round.
Mm.
So if it wasn't schoolwork, it was sports. If it wasn't sports, I was watching like wrestling or going to events in my pop.
but to transition, we're gonna go over our top 5 animes, and give you guys a description of why it is our top 5 animes.
So I'll let you start off, big dog.
For sure. Okay. So for me, my fifth anime is Attack on Titan.
Ooh.
Storyline, character wise storyline, just everything about that show has been from start to finish. It's been amazing. Like was obviously not finished because it's not over yet. We still got one more season to go. The final part of the final season. But yeah, that has been it's been fantastic for me. What I've always compared it to, not necessarily how the stories interact, but more so how do I want to say it? Not how the stories are, but how the character development, how everything ends up playing into each other. For me, that's like Game of Thrones. Attack on Titan is like Game of Thrones. Like story wise, so many twists and turns you did not see coming. So much stuff that happens in the beginning. It's like, okay, this doesn't seem that important. But then when you get later on, it's like, oh my God, this is like, wow, who saw this? Who saw this coming? I don't want to give away spoilers for people who haven't seen it, but like, there's some really crazy shockers in that in the show, and I've really enjoyed it. Two of my favorite characters, Mikasa and Levi, obviously, who, if you watch the show, of course, they have to be in your top five, or top 10 at least. You can't drop them out the top 10 for sure because they like that. You know what I mean? So for me, that's what's coming in at number 5, Attack on Titan.
That that's that's interesting. I did not see that coming.
Man.
That's actually really interesting. I did not see that one coming at all. Like he just threw me for a curveball.
Man.
Um, for me, coming in at my number 5 spot is My Hero Academia.
Okay. All right.
So My Hero Academia is my number 5 um favorite anime right now.
Okay.
This is probably due to the overwhelming story arc that they do have inside there.
Mm-hmm.
Along with the character building that they have. I'm big on open. I'm big on the world. If the world building and the character building is good, I'm big up on that, and we can push that through.
Okay.
If it's not good, then I'm not rocking with it. But for the most part, that My Hero Academia, no spoilers will be ever put out there, but um, just from looking at the animation itself, from starting it, this is something that I binge watched. From the first three seasons, when I first started watching it, I binge watched it and just
Facts.
never stopped.
Facts.
So that's my number 5 spot right there.
All right. All right. Okay. So for me, number 4. For number 4, I had to put Black Clover. Okay.
1 second. Let me pull it up real quick.
For sure.
I did not see. Black Clover was one of those. Was one of my sleeper shows.
Man.
All right, cool.
Said, all right, y'all. So for my number 4, I have Black Clover. Like, I've seen. So this is how this started for me watching the show. I saw it several times on Funimation. The picture with Austin Yuno, and I've read the description several times, and I'm like, okay, it sounds good, but I don't know if I wanna take a chance on it. So there's a homie in my job when I used to work inside the building at UPS. My homie Kyle. He used to put me on and tell me about several different kinds of anime and whatnot. So he told me about this when I had seen it several times. He was like, listen, bro, watch it. I was like, all right, Kyle, I trust you. I trust your opinion. You know, you haven't steered me wrong so far. I've watched it. I started it. Binged it. I absolutely could not stop watching it. Asta, by far, hands down and away, one of my favorite anime characters of all time. Just him, his determination, the storyline behind him not having powers but still trying to achieve the highest standard that you have in that world and continuing to grow and nothing stopping him, nothing getting in his way, and he just, man, bro, all the obstacles he's had to overcome to become the Wizard King, to try to become the Wizard King at some point, it's been amazing. They need to hurry up and come back with the anime because it was heartbreaking when they put it on pause. So that, for me, is number 4, Black Clover.
That's a good number 4 right there.
Man.
That's a solid ass number 4. Black Clover though,
Man.
that's a solid number 4 right there.
Man,
I can't cap that. I can't cap with that one. My number 4, coming in strong, off of what my man said about never giving up.
Man.
You gotta believe in yourself.
Man.
My boy Naruto believed in himself a hell of a lot, like in order to become something that he should not have became. But he overcame the obstacles, and I love it a lot. If you guys all ever watched Naruto before, it is a ninja show about a young boy who sets out to basically become the best ninja he could possibly be. He trains his ass off, and he goes out there and he does what he has to do in order to get to where he has to go and what he wants to do. I would say for me, watching Naruto as a kid, and just looking at the way that things developed over time with them, from Team 7 to my boy Kiba, my boy Neji, Shikamaru, like even my boy Shino. I love my bugs, man. My bug boy. But I can't put nobody over my boy Sasuke Uchiha, man. Just watching how the power of friendship and the power of just meeting somebody who has like-minded background as you can be so powerful over time just came into play, where it's like, I like this. Have you watched the new Tekken anime? I have not yet. But Naruto, again, like I said, was one of those. I was in middle school. when it came. What is middle school? Middle school is what? What grade to what
Sixth through
grade? Fifth
ninth.
grade.
Sixth through ninth.
Sixth to ninth is middle
Mm-hmm.
school.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in fifth grade then.
Okay.
Um,
Right before. Yeah.
so right before middle school is when I started everything off. And me and two of my homies had a little game we would play where it was like you pick a show, we ask a question, you get a point behind that question, and whoever gets the most right gets something. I forgot what the hell we did, but it was so
Mm,
long ago.
okay.
But it was like the Dwa questions. So like Dragon Dwa would be Dragon Ball Z, wrestling, Yu-Gi-Oh, Naruto, and he didn't watch One Piece, so it was just Dwa, DWYNA. Oh, and A was his anime in general, open anime question.
Okay. Okay.
Um, so I can't remember. I remember the damn name of that shit.
Mm,
So that long ago. But Naruto got me into like a lot of stuff and just brotherly bonds and um, of course going through the times. It was just man going through the time of being like that main person inside my life, like my main supporter around that time frame, and getting anime to go through with me. I seen like Naruto take it to the next level, and I was like, you know what? I want to be just like him. I want to be a ninja.
man.
So I used to practice each day, ninjutsu shines and shit like that.
Mm,
Nothing ever fucking worked though. It don't
funny
work. Don't
as
ever try
hell.
this shit. This shit don't work, bro.
I am dead.
And to answer your question, Chris, I have not seen a new Tekken. I wish I did, but moving on to number 3.
All right. So my number 3 has appeared before on 12's list. My number 3 is My Hero Academia.
Ooh, let me pull up an A&D real quick. 1 second. Oh, shit. Any one of them,
Oh, yeah,
right?
no matter.
Spoiler alert.
Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. So for my third, I have My Hero Academia. We saw this before on 12's list. For me, the storyline, like you said, the world building, the character development over time, the fact that they focus on the main character, but all the side characters get love too. They aren't like just shoved to the side or forgotten about. They actually have, kind of quick. They may be kind of quick, but they have background episodes and whatnot talking about stuff that's been going on from their past and how it's influencing the type of hero that they want to be in the future and all that kind of stuff. So when I first started watching that, that was one that I immediately like turned tuned everything out for, and just continued to watch that because that was just by far one of the best shows to me. Uh, for me, the development of Deku from being a crybaby to actually being more and more like All Might. So he really has, at over the seasons, you've clearly seen the development. The tears have gone away. He's becoming more sure of himself. He's becoming more confident in what he can do. In one of the episodes, it even showed how All Might noticed how Midoriya isn't looking back for his approval. He's on his own path now to becoming the hero he wants to be. So it's amazing for me. And he's not even my favorite character. My favorite character is Bakugo. Because with him, his development from he's had the power, but he didn't know. I don't want to say he didn't have necessarily the humanity, but he didn't have the social aspect of it, of
Yeah.
being able to like, hey, you how we see Midoriya is with Eri, how he is like that, and then how Bakugo was in the exam, how he was yelling at the people and whatnot who had just, been in danger and whatnot. So you clearly seen his growth as well, especially when they got to the training arc, and it was, if you're in trouble, I'll save you. If I'm in trouble, you save me. When I heard that, I lost my mind. I just his development. You've seen it. He's clearly, him and Deku, they are on the right path, man. And I cannot wait to see what comes in the future, especially this upcoming season with the war arc. I cannot wait. So that's my number 3, My Hero Academia.
That's a really good fucking number 3, right? That's a solid ass number 3.
That's my number 3.
Man, he dropped it. My boy Law spends he spends no type of bad jujus out there.
Man, I'm trying to tell you.
No type of lies. Watch My Hero.
Check it out.
And it's crazy that I said jujus because
here we go.
my number 3 is Jujutsu Kaisen.
I feel it. Listen. I really listen. This is one of my favorite. It's just the fact that it only has one season. That's it.
That was the whole thing for me too. Picking this was probably one of the hardest things to do.
I get it.
It was so many other things that I could put up here inside this number 3 spot, but from watching and just understanding what could happen in the future and what's to come up, and from
I give it to you.
This is what I'm like you right now when it comes to this. I don't read the manga when it comes to this only because I want to see the first.
What's going to happen?
I want to see it. But with My Hero and shit like that and One Piece, I definitely read the manga for that.
Nah, I feel it.
My imagination be going crazy.
Funny as hell.
My homie said he his list so far too many mainstreams. Hey, it's crazy that you say that, bro. The too many mainstreams, but at the same time, it was a lot that I wanted to put inside here, but some of them you probably would not have even fucking known what the hell it was. But to get into my thing right now, that's a good edit. Jujutsu Kaisen is probably one of my favorite animes coming out right now, only because of how I see the story arc progressing over time. It's a lot behind it that I can see Itadori and Gojo and the underclassmen and upperclassmen doing together, and the other school all collide together and just it's a lot of fights I want to see happen, and a lot of things in general that I want to see happen. But when this came out, it was like a weekly, let's see what's gonna happen next for me.
Right.
I was hooked like phonics off back with this shit. And just watching it from a kid who doesn't want to do anything, only has his grandpa left inside his life, who has phenomenal physical traits, just to see him go from a fearless kid to a fearless hero. Even though he has a demon inside him, like I have a few shows that have demons inside them, like Naruto, a demon inside him. That was my number on one of my other numbers right there. But just from having that inside him, and pushing this up to the next level is probably what I cannot wait to see happen in the future with anime. It was hard for me to put it on my list because I didn't want to put it here at first. Inside this place, I had Shield Hero, but it was hard to just pick between them two. Okay. So I ended up going with this. Right, I ended up going with this one only because of the fight scenes, the animation behind it, the leadership qualities that they have over inside of their senseis and their senpais. Just everything about the show came out to be what I want to see anime.
Mm-mm.
I want to see the fight scenes. I want to see the story building. It's not big on world building inside this anime, and that's like the downfall from my perspective is the
Mm.
world building for it. But the character development, I definitely love it. I don't know why this dude keeps popping up with Chipotle ads
Chipotle.
on this video. Um, but that's my number three, and I'm sticking to it
For sure.
for now until it does change. Because whatever you said earlier, that it's not the final thing. Think of me as Wikipedia, except for my top one.
Funny as hell. No, I feel that. Okay. Another one. So for my number two, it's another one that was on 12's list, but it's higher up on my list, is Naruto. Said, listen, this and Zatch Bell were the first two animes that I was like really into. So no matter what, this is, you can call it nostalgia purposes, whatever. I don't care. This will always hold a special place in my heart. Um, it's kind of what led me to getting into everything else. The storyline, character development, the fight scenes, just everything. The personality of Naruto. That's that. As you can kind of see, that's a huge. Well, you'll see later on when it comes to my top five characters list. But that's a huge thing for me as far as like the character's personality and how they act. Um, him being shunned, being an outcast, nobody really caring about him, everybody hating him, wishing he was gone, wishing he was dead because of the nine-tailed fox, to him being the most respected person in the whole community. That showed, that shows something. Don't give up on your dreams. Continue to push forward in whatever you believe in, no matter um, how impossible the your goal may seem. Don't give up. Just keep pushing, and you'll get there. It may take a lot longer than you want it to, but you'll get there. Just keep pushing. So that's for me. That's my number two. Believe it,
Talked about yo.
man. Believe it.
And for the number two on my list, it's a really big mainstream number two, but it's one that I enjoy a lot because for me, Dragon Ball Z is what started my anime journey. And from watching Goku to Gohan to Vegeta to Trunks to Krillin, Tien, Yamcha, all of them as they grow into characters. Some better than others, some a lot better than others, and some that probably should never been in the first place. Um, of course, I'm gonna have it on my list because this is the start of my anime journey. So for my top five list right now, this isn't like an all time. It was supposed to be all time, but for me, it was just the top five for the moment. Um, from watching, I watched Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Super, the movies. Um, Not all of them, but mostly all of them. And it was just one of those things where it's like you can be an outcast, and as long as one person believes inside you, that's all that matters type thing. Because when Goku came to the world, he traveled in a pod, he landed, Grandpa Gohan found him, um, went grade eight, Grandpa Gohan passed away, trained a little bit, did some things. Master Roshi helped out, of course, and it's a lot behind it that I would say I enjoyed a lot from Dragon Ball, especially some of the scenes as an adult. I look back on now, I'm like, maybe that should not have been inside there. And I should not have been watching this as a kid. For those of you who watched it, you know what I'm talking about. But Yeah, it's one of those things where it's just like this show brought out a lot for me. For me and my my nerd friend group, I would say, because I wasn't part of just any, I wasn't part of just a group. I would say I was part of. Everybody knew me mostly growing up, but for my nerd per se group, this is something that we talked about a lot, and this is what I think made us growing to like brothers aside that fact because of the connection you can make from the characters and playing the games with it. Because when this came out, when the games started coming out, Tenkaichi 2, Budokai, all of those, man, endless nights at your homie's crib,
Facts.
y'all playing, you hear footsteps coming, you shouldn't be playing the game, turn the TV off, pause the game real quick, pretend you sleep, get back up when they leave, turn it back on. It's just a lot of stuff like that that
Facts.
will make this one of my top two lists because this is what got me over that hump into anime. Plus, it's a goat anime. This is one of the greatest animes of all times. Um, Rivaling, not one of the greatest of all times, I would say, but it is up there inside that Mount Rushmore of list. I put it like that, the Hokage statue list.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and rivals next to Sailor Moon and many others that came before, Cowboy Bebop, all that good stuff. But the development, the world building, the different arcs, Frieza, Cell, Boo, the main Dragon Ball Z arcs to the Android sagas, the World Martial Arts tournaments inside of Dragon Ball, to GT being not canon, but it was still fun to watch. All of that played a big factor into just making this one of my favorite shows because of just how open world it was and how many characters they started to bring into the show that made you want to remember this character. For me, I'm big on open world of world building and character developments, and it has to be something that I could get into and really like and enjoy. Um, but for the most part, Dragon Ball Dragon Ball Z is definitely my top two of all times.
So
I keep going in and out. That should be better. Is that better now, man? You should be able to hear me now. But our number one, I'm pretty sure is the fucking same.
it definitely is the same.
So
Said,
I'm
oh,
gonna just
you
I'm
go
gonna
ahead
pull
and
it
pull
up
some
real
shit up.
quick.
Yeah, go ahead, because you already know. Okay. So, this is hilarious because my number two had been my number one for the longest. And like I said, it had been, you could base it off nostalgia factor, the fact that it got me into everything and all that, whatever you want to say. But my number two, Naruto, had been number one for the longest. But I had to give it up, man. One Piece. One Piece is my number one anime. For the longest time, I avoided watching this show. I didn't want anything to do with it. 12 said, hey, watch it 16, watch it 16. I'm trying to tell you to watch it 16. It's good
Rush
16.
back.
I did not. Listen, I was not going. I was still watching anime clearly, but I was not budging on One Piece. I don't know what it was. So part of the fact was I started watching. I got into the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, and I really enjoyed those. So I gave Pirates and stuff a try. So I was like, okay, let me give One Piece a try. So what I said was, what I wanted to do was start watching it and see how long it was gonna take me to watch, catch up to watching however many episodes was out at the time. So I put it in my calendar what day I started watching it, and I started it. It was slow. The beginning was slow, and I was like, I don't know how I really feel about this, but I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep giving it a try. And it started picking up. I'm okay. Maybe I can rock with this. I got to a point where I'm watching and I'm just like, man, when did I really start enjoying this? It's just like you just you're watching it and you just get sucked in, but you don't know at what point really it is that it's like, man, this is really really good because so much stuff. It's long. Granted, I know it's long. I know it is, but it's so worth it because things that you don't. It's almost like how I compare Game of Thrones to Attack on Titan. This is almost like that in the same way because of the way the storytelling is. The storytelling, the world building is just, it's phenomenal. Stuff from way early on in the hundreds or 200s plays effect way later in the 700s, 800s, and it's just like, of course they're gonna show you the stuff that happened early on, give you kind of like a flashback type thing, so you remember when they're showing you the new stuff, so you remember how it all ties in together. So it's not just like, hey, I'm watching all these episodes, I'm gonna end up forgetting everything. What's the point of watching? It's like, no, 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 no. They make sure they refresh you, so when you're watching the new stuff, it's like, God damn, this motherfucker is a genius, bro. Like, hands down, far and away, my favorite anime, coming in at number one, One Piece.
Ichiro fucking Oda is
Go.
probably my favorite out right now when it comes to writing anime,
Go.
manga. This man is different. Just like what 16 said, it picked up slow for me a little bit, but I loved it still. I kept watching it day in and day out. The first episode or first few episodes, you will see somebody get their head capped. I'm gonna tell you that right now. If you guys don't believe me, you see the reaction that he has right now. Straight cap to the dome. He was gone.
Man.
Loved it. Loved it. Loved it. From that point on, it was one of those things where it was like, this show was going to be amazing. Then it kind of slowed down, um, and then picked right back up. The East Blue, the West Blue, the North Blue, the South Blue, the Grand Line, the entire building of this One Piece world is something that I've never seen before. The only thing that could rival this to me would be,
Unmatched.
aside my top, since my top three list was Jujutsu Kaisen, of course, was there, but before Jujutsu Kaisen, I had two more, and the third one that I didn't tell you guys I had because I was waiting to tell you guys when I got here was Fairy Tail. That was the only thing that I can say world building wise because of all the guilds they have inside there and how
They
the
all play into effect with each other.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's different. This shit is different. I laugh, I cry, I get real furious at times. I hate characters, I love characters. Oh
God.
man, if you guys want to watch us, watch anything, I would say watch One Piece. I got somebody inside here right now, inside the chat that I talked to, and he always he don't watch it, but he damn sure might have watched it from what the shit I've been telling him.
Okay.
So we've been going through it for the longest. I've been watching this. Like I said, it came out in I believe 97. I started watching it around 2001. Actually, no, I started watching it inside 2000. 2001 when I picked back up on it again. But it was no holds bar.
Nah,
This anime is probably hands down the best anime out,
no question.
previous and now, and there's no reason why. And you can see why it's the big three.
Facts.
It's
That's
just different.
facts.
It's
I
just
agree.
different.
Yeah, like I said, I wasn't in on it. I'm trying to tell you, I was not in on the wave at first. I was doing everything to avoid it. I finally sat down, bought the, bit the bullet and watched it, and I then started watching it again. I'm damn near current again. Not from the beginning. I started watching from the Sabaody Archipelago, the time jump, the 2 year time jump, and I'm in Wano right now in Udon prison. So I'm trying to tell you, like the rewatchability of it as well. Like for me, I'm probably not going to go through the first part of it before. The only thing I probably watch in the beginning of that is from Impel down through the war, and then skip the rest of that, and then go back from the time jump. That's probably all the early stuff that I watch, and then all the later stuff I watch all the later stuff except the Zoe arc. That's everything I've watched so far recently, and it's been say a month and a half maybe, and that's like 400 something episodes. So like y'all can do it, bro. It's honestly doable to watch all the episodes. 1,000 seems daunting, but it's honestly nothing.
It's like if you skipping over the fucking, what is it? What do we have here? We have episodes that you can definitely skip over. Oh, let me see, because this dude did a good job. Here it is.
Facts.
So as you can see, we have hella episodes you can skip through. From filler episodes that's aside there. Man, Law was like talking about the other day about how many fillers it actually is, and I was saying the arcs. He was episodes with it. I didn't make it clear enough. But as you can tell, you have just a few. Um, it's not even a whole lot compared to. You can see the main episode list, the mixed canon filler episodes compared to what we have now. Even the first episode is mixed canon. Um, but you can tell exactly what we have now. Um, that's all you'll be watching. Fillers is the lowest amount you can get out of it. That's just fillers. Everything else matters coming through with it.
Facts. Yeah.
Give it
I was about to say everything that's in the red category I did not watch. Everything else I watched.
And I've watched everything.
Yeah. Everything in the red I did not watch. I watched everything else. And I know everything that's going on, so you'll be okay.
Shit,
without reading, I have not read anything. I have not read manga since basically like high school, so I'm good on that. You ain't got to worry about that. I know everything from watching.
And if y'all want to come to me separately, I'm caught up on chapter 1057. Just came out. Actually, it comes out in 30 minutes. But I watched it already. I read it already. Chapter 1057. Ooh, y'all got some shit in store. Oh, but no spoilers on this channel right here, man. We're gonna keep it moving how we can, keep it grooving. Because we have one more category to get into. And of course, our favorites list. So you might see some favorites from my list on Law's list. And you know how it is. It's 12/16. We combine for a reason right now. Even though it's his birthday, it's 12/16, but we still combine for a reason.
Funny as hell.
So, do you want to run through this Law similar to what we just did right now with the characters, or do you want to just go through and talk about them?
I mean, we can go back and forth again. That's cool, or
do you want videos or no?
You want to? You can. I mean, we don't have to. Or you can just play like a random AMV with just anime stuff in general, and then we can just talk over that. That way, we don't gotta keep stopping and pulling videos up. And next time, I'll make sure I have some stuff.
I have you start off there. You can.
For sure.
All right, now let me see which one. I want to get a good amount. It has to be a long one. Look at a decent long one. 6 minutes. 6 minutes not gonna last. 7, no. All right, what's that?
So okay. For my number 5, it was split, so I'ma just cut one out on the fly right now. So I will go with number 5 for me.
Hold on. Who's your runner up? Don't come. Who's the runner? At least the name.
Okay, so I'll say runner up for the top 5 spot. I'm gonna say it was All Might.
Oh,
Yeah, that was, as you can see, that's a hard cut for me to make up there. But if you were looking in the basement, you would see I have something of the guy I'm gonna replace him with, which is Captain Levi. That was really hard for me. Between those two, I really like them. But I'll give the edge to Levi just because All Might isn't really able to do anything anymore. And then we still have Levi. I mean, even if he isn't able to fight in this final arc, even all the way up to the final arc, he was fighting and able to do stuff. But kind of seeing his storyline from how he was basically on death's door, kind of, his mom was in the whorehouse and all that kind of stuff, and then Kenny took him out, and then seeing him rise to become the cold guy he was. So it was cool seeing how cold he was from the beginning, but to see what he came from, to see him being like that, that's sold it for me. He's that guy. Some of the most amazing fight scenes, some of the best fight scenes, hands down, in Attack on Titan. Him and the Beast Titan, by far. So I could just leave it at that. My guy Levi, number 5.
that's actually not that bad. And my guy number 5 comes in strong. As you can see, it's kind of crazy because right now my guy number 5 uses a staff like we're seeing right now from Fate Zero. It's Jin Moria
Okay.
from God of High School. I picked Jin Moria for a few reasons. The number one reason I would say is, oh, he's the Monkey King. Being Sun, what is it called? Sun Wukong, the Monkey King itself. As somebody who I looked up when I was into mythology a lot, I was big into mythology, and just seeing how nobody can really rival the Monkey King,
Mm-hmm.
because of who he is and just how powerful the Monkey King is. The fact that he can take anything inside his creation to his will and bend it and make it his is just amazing. And just seeing um, Jin Moria get into that with his power and his abilities. Said we won't have a second season, but that's going to lead me to reading about it. I'll start reading it now. I'm so
Nah.
sad. They treating this like like Bleach right now at this point. I believe it's probably the money area because they spent a lot of money on the fucking edits they have for this damn for that show. But Jim Moria is somebody who I can say went through trial and error again and again and again and again inside life, losing people that he was close to, and then becoming the god of high school, basically. From just the season that we could see, uh, it was amazing. Like the person who, it's funny he popped up just now. The person who would have been my number 5, is Escanor.
Okay.
I love Escanor to death, but this would have been he was one of my top 5. Um, it's a thing with me and the sun, as you can tell, possibly. Um, so anything that has to do with the sun and overwhelming arching power is something I can really relate to and get behind. I don't know if it's because I'm a Leo, that's a fire sign.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I don't get on to the zodiac sign stuff, or because my name, the first part of my name is Ra, and that means sun god. Inside the Egyptian articles behind it. But Jin Moria, his fighting style was always something that I enjoyed as a kid, using my legs a lot. 'Cause the leg is one of the most strongest weapons, strongest things in your body because it's always in use, alone for in use for the most part all day long. But up to the staff and having that amazing fight that he had was just dope.
Man.
And we're gonna switch over to number 4.
All right. So for my 4, it comes from a show on my top 5 list. And I already told y'all he was my favorite character from the show, so you already know where we're going. We're going with Bakugo at number 4. That's my dog, man. He already had power and whatnot to begin with, so I rock with that. But it's the fact that his personality, it's not necessarily change. I wouldn't say changing like on the surface level, but deep down the way he acts, he's definitely changed. As far as how I talked about earlier, how in the fight he was like basically, if you need help, I'll save you, and if I need help, save me. Like that shows so much development from the first fight we saw when they got to school, where he was basically, he said screw Ida, and he was just trying to take on Deku by himself. It just shows so much development from him. His powers, his moves, he does it all on his own. He's not really. I'm not mad that Midoriya kind of gets help and whatnot, because that wasn't his quirk and all. But the fact that Bakugo, you seen him do all of this basically on his own, no real like mentor, like a All Might, or how I think it's Shinzo, how the guy who talks and he can freeze you based on if you speak and whatnot. Shinzo, how he has Aizawa as like his mentor and whatnot. Bakugo went to best genius, but that wasn't really what he was looking for. So hopefully he gets somebody to, like a guy higher up to mentor. But what I've liked so far is he's basically done it all on his own. He's that guy, and as soon as all the ego is completely gone, watch out, man. It's over with. It's over with. So that's my guy.
That's actually really dope right there.
That's my guy.
Because it is fucking crazy how alike me and you are. Imagine, man, 16 been cool for over my brother for about more than 10 years, bro. Since 09. So that's 13 years. 13 years we on right now. And his number 4 was Bakugo, and my number 4 is Shoto Todoroki.
Man, it's crazy.
So it's wild that happened right there. So Shoto Todoroki, another guy from My Hero Academia, and just like what 16 was just saying right now, he wants to do it on his own. He has his father to help him out, of course. He doesn't want the help from his father though, because it's the whole thing of you screwed up our family, so I don't want your help. But it's kind of getting it inside of a way. As you guys get into a quick spoiler alert, you can skip that for like 25 seconds. Shoto, Bakugo, and Deku all get trained with Endeavor, who was Shoto's father. Mm-hmm. But just because of that, it doesn't mean that that's your mentor. Mm-hmm. And I loved it a lot. What Shoto was doing is he's showing to the world that he is his own guy. And I think the part that set him apart for everything for me was when he went against Deku inside the tournament. Mm-hmm. And just that talk that Deku gave him, this is your quirk, nobody else's, this is yours, not his. Mm-hmm. That generated a lot of willpower to fight inside him and Shoto. And man, I'm confused at first, but it generated a lot inside him, because before those words are spat out, Shoto is the type of person who only uses code side. He will only go inside there and step aside of a building, free the whole building up just to win an event, a tag team event, hero versus villain event, which is dope. But it's one of those things where it's like, man, like there's no stopping this guy once he gets into full power of who he is. Definitely top 3 hero I see coming with ease. If not top 3, I'm definitely top 2. But you know how it is. Top 2, and top 3 gonna be fighting it out a lot between me and Law's top 4s.
Facts. No, that's facts.
On to number Trace.
Okay. So, my number 3 character comes from another show on my top 5 list, and that would be my boy Asta. Like I said, it's gonna kind of turn into a recurring theme with my top 3 characters as far as like kind of personality sets, and you're gonna see that coming soon. But he's a guy, like I said earlier, nothing, no magic power, no abilities in a world where magic, where they say it in the intro, in a world where magic is everything. He's a guy who has no magic at all, no abilities, can't do anything, and that's what essentially ends up making him special. The fact that he can't do any of that, but he still continues to push forward through all the obstacles that overset him with all the fights and all those the prejudice, because he's also kind of like, what would you say, a commoner, so he has to go through that kind of, you know, discrimination from an elitist kind of standpoint to trying to break down all of those barriers. And it's so much that he has to overcome, and he never gives up, and that's honestly what I love about his character through all of it. So like I said earlier, they need to come back with the anime. Cannot wait until the movie comes out next year. Even though it's not canon, I still can't wait because I need more Black Clover content. But let's hurry up and get this anime situation together so we can come back and see my boy Asta. So that's my number 3.
That's dope. So people in the chat saying they love Asta as well, man. I like that. I like to see that. Asta, it's an underdog right there for your
That's
ass.
my dog.
I can guess who one of your tops would be, but the other one, I'm trying to think about it, and I just can't. I can't think about who your number 2 is, bro.
Yeah.
I know who number 1 is for sure.
Oh, of course.
But my number 3 comes from a show I talked about earlier. Um, it wasn't on my top list, but it is a good show to watch still, and it's called The Get Backers. My number 3 comes in at Bon Midu. Bon
Okay.
Midu is a guy from The Get Backers who overwhelmingly strong. He uses snake abilities and this thing called the Jagon. Um, as a kid, I always would daydream. Daydreaming was like one of those things where it's like, hey, let me just daydream, or man, if I could just find a way to look somebody in the eyes and get them out of this classroom, I would. Um, and we got a new follower coming in right now.
Yeah,
Welcome to the show, Mike and Ike. My boy, was good.
Oh, is that looking around and shit? I'm be good.
I just heard Vinyl Zero going off. That's why.
Oh,
So I had to pop in real quick. That's the little thing. Well, welcome to the show, Mike and Ike. But Midu has a thing called the Jagon, and it's the ability that's kind of like the Sharingan, Genjutsu, who looks you inside your eyes, but he can only have you going inside your mind for just 1 minute. And I love that to death. Cool cat, really smooth, tough, stern guy. Somebody who's always fucking broke, but makes money with his partner always. Hey, Blue, put it out. Him and his partner always make money together because they're doing jobs, and for some reason they always lose the money. It's a recurring theme inside there, but it's a good show. It's an older show.
Okay.
So if you guys ever want to watch the Get Back and watch it, but just the way that Bond grew into somebody. Thank you for the sub also coming through strong, Mike and Ike, my boy. Man, that's love.
That's love.
Just threw me off, man. Thank you so much, Mike and Ike. I'm rocking with you the hard way, bro. But Bond is somebody who is going to show charisma. He's going to show courage. He's going to show leadership behind it. And that's just the traits that, as a leader, as a kid, when I was growing up on sports teams, I always thought it would be good to have inside there. And he has such a strong grip. It's like a snake bite. And that's one of his finishing moves, the snake bite.
Mm.
And I always thought, like, all right, cool, I could do this one day. I can just crush a guy's head with my hands and just be done with him. Kind of like what Zoro does in the Baroque Works arc.
Hell
But
no. All right, Sabo.
but man, check it out when you get a chance to. It's that show alone is amazing, but Bond is it took me to the next level as a kid growing up. Aside the way that I wanted to lead people, and um, I always wanted a punch buggy as well, and that show has a punch buggy with them too. So it's kind of funny.
Hell no.
But number two, who I cannot guess on my man's list, he's gonna tell us right now.
Oh man, come on now. So this is gonna coincide basically. So it's gonna coincide with my top two shows on my top five. So my second favorite character of all time is, like I said, reoccurring theme, Naruto Uzumaki. That guy is my dog. Like I said, it's hard for me to shake off the nostalgia factor of Naruto. For me, I grew up watching that. That's what really got me into everything. His character, from being an outcast to being Hokage, all the fights, trials, tribulations he goes through from Naruto and then to Naruto Shippuden. In Naruto, though, some of the best arcs. My favorite, probably my one of my favorite. Well, obviously my favorite arc of all time was the final war that they had. That was hands down just amazing. But from Naruto, my favorite arc was the Sasuke retrieval arc. Hands down, my favorite. All the fights. What they said is basically the arc where boys became men. All that they had to go through going against the Sound Ninja.
I mean, just
It was that and just man that arc in general was perfect. Everybody getting their own moment to shine, so it wasn't just like all about Naruto and Sasuke and Naruto getting Sasuke back. You actually got to get deep dives into characters, so you got to dive into Choji, Kiba, Shikamaru. It was great. I absolutely loved that. So him as a character, everything he represents now, him and him and Baruto, not so great. But everything he did in the first two, amazing. Hands down, my second favorite character, Naruto Uzumaki.
I'm rocking with it. I did not see that coming, and it's crazy. I tell you, man, this guy are like brothers, bro, and it's crazy because Sasuke was gonna be my number two. Um, but I had to move Sasuke completely out the list.
Oh man,
So my number two on his list, and it's crazy because you would think that this is my number one character is Roro Zoro. My number two all-time favorite character on the list is Roro Zoro from One Piece.
oh my God,
But I know.
that's crazy. I am baffled. I am baffled.
So at number two, he comes in because one, he's a guy who was determined to always follow his captain's footstep, and not just follow his captain's footstep, but make sure that he reminds them of the code of honor that it means to be a captain. I was just watching the arc Water Seven a little while ago when Usopp wanted to, do his thing,
Man,
um, and just
I
having
know
hearing,
exactly the same.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
hearing what Sasuke, not Sasuke, I'm thinking about like Sasuke right now. Hearing what Zoro says, um, it comes times like this that really makes that really defines you as a captain.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna either follow you or we're gonna not follow this. Something along those lines. But
I know exactly what you're talking about though. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, and it was at that moment that I realized like Zoro just isn't somebody who gets lost as a great swordsman. He's somebody who lives by his code of honor, the warrior's code of honor, the pirate's code of whatever he's doing. In that time, he lives by that code of honor. Even when he was going to go against Mihawk earlier inside the series, he said, "Don't cut me on my back, cut me on my front because scars on the samurai's back is shameful." So, at my number two spot comes probably the overall best character for me, in my opinion, inside the whole show. My overall best, my favorite character, I would say, and from watching him grow from the first time we seen him chained up to the Wano arc, completely different person, but has the same exact morals and stands on his ground. Even during a whole cake arc. The reason why Zoro was not there in whole cake is because he probably would have killed somebody. But that's why he didn't go. Because I'm telling you right now, if Zoro was on whole cake, we wouldn't be seeing Mr. Cake no more.
Man.
But our number one, and it's crazy because it's the exact same again. I'm sure of it. Was not seeing this one coming.
Man. And once you said Zoro at number two, I was beyond stunned.
Let me pull up an AMV just for him by himself.
Okay, man. I was definitely beyond stunned. So my number one, and this is crazy because this is a show that I was not really into from the beginning, but this man has skyrocketed all the way to the top of my favorite character list. Monkey D. Luffy, Mugi Waraya is my guy. As you can see from the straw hat up there, just One Piece has become my favorite anime, and it is because of him. Everything about him. He seems, from the beginning, he seems like a bubble-headed idiot. As you go on, you realize there's more so, I wouldn't say necessarily method to his madness, but you get why he's the way he is, and it's absolutely amazing. It is just absolutely amazing. The similarities between him and the King of the Pirates. You finally start to realize that as you go on, he's, I wouldn't say an idiot. He's free. That's the whole point of this is the freedom of being able to go out and adventure and explore and to see new things and to experience new. And that's just why he just dives in head first in every situation when other people want to sit and like plan situations out and whatnot. He's just like, hey, fuck it, let's go. Just, hey, let's go all the time. That's all you hear from him. Just let's do it. Luffy, are you crazy? You want to fight an emperor? Let's go. Let's do it. It's like, hey, we gonna have to fight him one way or another. I'm going to become the king of the pirates, and he means that shit. Everything he goes through, all the fights, ups and downs, he never gives up. One of the my favorite scene probably still to this day is the walk to Arlong Park, iconic scene. How it shows that no matter what, he cares for his friends. He's got their backs. No matter how difficult the obstacle may seem in front of him, he's going in head first, ready to fight. Like no matter what. Another scene that shows that was the Fishman Island scene where he's willing to basically like kill himself to destroy the ship to make sure that everybody's safe because he promised he was going to keep the people on the island safe. I mean, just he was willing to destroy himself for other people. So like his self-sacrifice is just, man. And then I'll probably say my final scene that really just comes to mind is because I've been watching it recently was even after he fought Kaido the first time and he got one-shotted, the fact that he was still on the ground glaring at him like he wanted to fight and still wanted to go even though he was knocked out. I'm just like, the determination, the willpower that he has is just, man. And I can't, I'm on final note on him. I just can't wait to see how the rest of this this Kaido fight, the current Kaido fight, is gonna play out. I absolutely cannot wait. So at number 1, it is Monkey D. Luffy.
And that's the exact same for me.
Man,
Number 1, Monkey D. Luffy. Some of the reasons my boy talked about, but for the main reason is because he's a fearless leader who will not give up, even when he takes L's. He's probably one of the only anime character that doesn't have plot armor behind him because he does take L's.
yes.
Plot armor is a big thing. Of course, we know he's going to come out on top, cool, but it's not. He's going to win the first match every time. Like, I guess Katakuri would happen. Katakuri was training him, went through with that. He took his L's against Arlong. He was getting fucked up until he bit Arlong back and took the teeth out of him. Against Crocodile, the man damn near died.
Multiple times.
When he was stuck inside impaled down. Like, the list could go on and on and on. He takes L's. He's going to take them L's. But the thing behind it is he's going to train his butt off in order to get better.
Yeah.
And even now, quick spoiler alert, inside of, when you get to the prison inside Wano.
Well, that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah. And what happens? He gets struck by that poison. What did he say? I think I'm immune to it or something like that, right? Because that goes back to impaled down when what is his name? Magellan poisoned the shit out of him and put the immune system to it and was putting him up to it. So just like we said earlier, One Piece connects things from episodes 800 back or 500 episodes back, and it connected to current. Like, man, it's the Ichiro Oda hands down the best.
Excellent
to go around, and the storytelling is just muy bonito.
Man, no, that's facts.
And the last thing that makes Luffy my favorite is because he knows how to grow. He knows that now it takes sacrifice if you want to be something better than yourself. You can't just always have it your way. Going back to the Water 7 arc, he wanted to give up, and my number 2 pick, Zoro, told him what it meant to be a captain. And from that point on, he said, you know what, I hear you, but at the same time, fuck that. Because he went out when that shit happened with Sanji, he made sure that he got the right, he wanted the 100% facts behind shit. If you want to leave, fight me, beat me, leave, but just mean it. Mean it. Show me that you mean you don't want to be a part of the crew no more. And if you can't do that, you stay your ass right here, whether you like it or not.
Facts.
And it's different because, man, looking at this Zoro A&V now coming on, I don't know what. Robin was black.
Man, tell me about it.
Man, Luffy, he is the prime example of what a main character should be, in my opinion. That wraps it up for me, man, with him. That wraps it up for me with Luffy, bro.
Yeah, that's my dog, man.
Man, he showed his ass off. That wrapped it up for me when it came to him, bro. Because Luther was just it. He shows that he can be the best that he will be. He's gonna do it. He set out to do it. And reading the manga, no spoilers, of course, but I love the entire, like, I see what Odin's vision is and everything that he's doing with all the characters. I can really see it clearly, but it's gonna come a lot clearer when it gets animated.
Yeah, I feel that. I definitely feel that. Wow.
We've been going strong for an hour and 35 minutes. Not strong, but we've been technical difficulties. We got through a little hump.
Yeah, man.
Where can they catch us at, Law?
Man, say you can catch me on Twitch at Lawler16 Inc. You can catch me on Twitter at laying down the DA Law. And then you can catch me on Facebook at laying down the law and on IG at laying down the law, DA Law. Yes, sir.
We are the 1216 podcast. It's not only about anime, also about pop culture.
Man.
Until next time.
Appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Until the next time, we will see y'all.
And what we got right now, we have what, T minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 or 6 weeks before it's go time, baby.
Oh man, just wait. We got something in store for y'all then for sure. That's gonna be crazy. 1216 coming to you live on location. Fuck you talking about. Y'all will see though. Y'all will see. Y'all will see. Just wait on it. Make sure you're there.
And we are out of here.